Sashimi, maybe.
In this full-on food marathon, I've journeyed all the way to Taiwan to take on this nation's most extreme foods.
Wow.
This island of nearly 24 million is a food lover's paradise, but I'm here to push some limits.
Oh my God. Have you ever seen anything like that?
From beef noodles that cost over $300
I'm gonna give it a shot. Cheers.
to consuming the creepiest creatures from the sea, I'm challenging Taiwan's top chefs to go all out.
Look at that. What part is it?
But before all that, we're headed to one of Taipei's iconic night markets, known as NINGXIA Market, home to over 100 street food vendors. Here, I'm on a mission to spend over $100 on Taiwan's tastiest treats.
Someone called the Taiwanese police. Too much cheese being pulled over here.
Taiwan is not known for its cheap prices, so can one giant stomach and a night full of eating add up to over $100? Time to find out.
Boom, right behind me, our first location. They're serving a food called scallion rolls. Let's take a look at the menu. Option number one, it has, there's a noodle, I know that for sure. I can use my app. All right, snap a pic. Okay, here it shows it has cheese 2 times, it has pickle, and it has noodles. Wow, that is an exciting, eccentric combination. I'm just gonna point and pick one. Could I have that? I've chosen the kimchi cheese because we're in Taiwan. Wait, do people here like kimchi? I assume they do if it's here. She's got a giant bowl full of noodles and what I presume to be kimchi. You can see on the bottom they have kind of a roti or a pancake, then cheese, and then they have the noodle kimchi mixture. She gives it a little bit of a roll, and then she slices it up. Grab a plate, throw it on top, hit it with a little bit of sauce, and that is ready to go. Thank you. All right, folks, we have our first dish right here, $3.70. I would have to eat over 30 of these to spend over $100. That's never gonna happen. Come take a look at this. A nice wheat pancake on the outside. It's full of noodles. It's really an unusual creation. There's lots of scallions in there too. All right, let's try it out. It's full of those cheap cheese squares, noodles, kimchi. Let's go. That's actually pretty good. It's like a nice crunchy pancake on the outside. It's savory. You get little bites of kimchi, which are a little bit sour. This is a carbohydrate bomb. It kind of reminds me of when I was in Ethiopia eating street food. What? Taiwan reminded you of Ethiopia? Yeah. In Ethiopia, they basically had a big bread pancake and they filled it with spaghetti. This is the same kind of carb-on-carb crime here. The chili sauce, it's really bringing it all together. I'm telling you, this is Taiwanese junk food so good, even that dog right there would eat it. In the end, is this worth ordering? Yes, but it's not that expensive. So from here, I'm gonna go see if I can find some foods that are gonna get me to $100. We've come to our second spot right here. It's a location that is specializing in quail eggs. 2 varieties, but both of them are fried. And this one has cheese. This looks good, I have to try it. Let's go see how it works. So right here we have the stall owner, and these are the quail eggs. My gosh, she is cracking literally hundreds of these quail eggs every single night. Right now, she's taking the quail eggs and she's putting it over the heat, and then she dumps them into these little cupcake tins that are full of oil. And you can see they're absolutely bubbling up immediately as she puts them in there. Once they're done frying, she takes them one by one and skewers all of them on this stick. 8 quail eggs per stick. So that's the fried version, but they also have a cheese version. I'm gonna order that now. She breaks off 8 of these quail eggs, and she hits it with a little bit of cheese. Put that in the broiler, let it melt, and we'll see you in about 2 minutes. All right, folks, our second food right here, quail eggs that have been fried and then doused with cheese that has been melted. All that, $1.85 for 8 eggs. How many eggs are you supposed to eat in a day? 2? Is that for any type of egg? What about ostrich eggs? Because I feel like even 1 ostrich egg a day, it could be too much. Cheers. You know when you get fried egg, and the best part is that outer part of the egg that's a little bit brown mixed with the white part that's been really crispified? The whole thing tastes like that, but with gooey cheese on top. It's so good. Someone called the Taiwanese police. Too much cheese being pulled over here. That is delicious, but let's see if I can ruin what's already perfectly good. Right here we have soy sauce, chili sauce, curry sauce, and wasabi sauce. Look at that, it's not even a sauce, more like a paste. I'm just gonna get to painting over here. I'm the Bob Ross of food over here. I think this is gonna be enough wasabi to burn a hole in my skull. Here we have cheese, we have quail eggs, and we have far too much wasabi. More than any person should really consume at any one time. Cheers. I'm okay. Is it better? No, but it's different. And so if you're eating 35 of these a night, eventually you're gonna wanna switch it up. This is food number 2. Let's keep moving. For our next food, I've come behind the counter for all of this. 10 different types of creatures, from land, from sea, from everywhere. I don't even know how to categorize this as one type of food, except for that it's all protein. There's a couple of things that stand out and look very unique to me. First of all, this is the man working the stall. Hello?
Hello. Yes.
Boom. MTY. Is that right? I said in Vietnamese. MTY.
Em tên Kiên.
Skin. Or skin.
His name is Kiên.
Oh, cool, thank you. So right here we have some pork kidney. Right door next to it, we have snails. And this looks absolutely fascinating to me. It almost looks like it could be a snake skin, but it is not. That is fish skin. So next I'm gonna be ordering some snails and some fish skin. This is a first for me in Taiwan. Let's go. All right, right here we've got the snails. He's gonna put that into our plastic container. Okay, that's a lot of snails. Okay, good. And then he's gonna staple that shut so nobody can open it. Next, I fear he's gonna put a dangerous amount of skin in here as well. I should tell him to stop, but I feel shy. Okay, it's good. Thank you. He is refilling his stapler and then stapling the shut so I cannot eat it. Good move. I've got the final product right here. I gotta say, that's a lot of seafood. This is gonna be expensive. All right, folks, we have our seafood feast right here. First of all, a trove of snails. And then that is the skin of a fish. We'll save this for last. But all this together costs $400 in the local currency. In USD, that is $12.35. Let's talk about the snails. They're seasoned beautifully. There's a thick, sweet sauce on here. You can see some of the chilies. I didn't know that people in Taiwan ate snail. They've kind of plucked them all from the shell, so we can just eat them straight away. Even the poop sack is missing. Very respectable. Cheers. It's half glaze, half slime. The snails themselves are delicious, a little bit earthy, and kind of crunchy. They definitely have a texture to them. This is the alpha snail of the bunch. Let's go for it. Pretty good. Here's the thing with snails. Bigger is not better, always. As they get bigger, then they get much harder. So that is a snail. But right here, we have the fish skin. They saute it in different types of seasonings. I'm also told Taiwanese people eat this when they get a sick burn. So, you know, if you've been badly burned, eat some of this.
Oh God, it's so good.
Cheers. Wow. If you eat pork skin, that might be rich, fatty, and gelatinous, but this is like no actual fat. It's just the squishy, gelatinous-y jiggliness. Ooh, I feel my burns healing. I gotta be honest, I'm not sure how popular this food is here, but it is unique, fun to try, and medicinal. That's the most important part. When you're in this part of the world, especially East Asia, food is not just food, it's also medicine. Sick burn, bro. Boom! We've come to our next location behind me right here, something I found irresistible. It is confusing. Is it gonna be good? I have no idea. First of all, fried bread. Good, that's basically a donut. Then there's a lot of cucumber. Not good. I'm gonna get it anyways. I'm gonna get it how they usually prepare it and see how it goes. What she does is she cuts it first and then she puts in some mayo. So far, so good. Oh wait, what's happening? She's filling it full of cucumber. She put some sausage and then some egg, and last of all, she put some tomato. What a wild assortment of ingredients. Wrap it all up, and then I don't even know what just happened. Put some protection on it, put it in another bag for some reason, and that is ready to go. Thank you. I'm telling you, the people here move so fast it gives me PTSD. There was no time to give special instructions on the sandwich. You get what you get and you go. Okay, I just saw something wild. There's a whole pig here. Not a whole roasted pig, a live one. My doppelganger right here. Taiwan is wild. You get to just have a pig? This guy seems to be the owner. He's got a delicious bag of food scraps right here. What a well-behaved pig. A lot of people out there do a lot of strange things in order to get attention. They get weird tattoos. They wear revealing clothing. Guys, get a pet pig. Oh, the pig loves him. I'm literally gonna be eating pork sausage in about 20 seconds. Sorry. All right, guys, right here, a sandwich done Taiwanese style. The dough that's been fried, so it is essentially a donut on the outside. When you open it up, you see just a wall of cucumber. After that, sausage made from what animal? A pig. That was 2 seconds ago. There's a whole ass pig here. Now, if you're new to the show, I don't like cucumber. It's my least favorite food in the world. I'm gonna try it how they meant for me to try it, and then I'm gonna remove the cucumber. Let's give it a shot. My God, half a pound of mayonnaise in there. I love that. Big fan. The flavors are so overwhelming, you hardly taste the cucumber. At this point, the cucumber is just offering a little bit of texture. Oh, wow. This is an assortment of ingredients that should not work. It doesn't make any sense. I guess the soy sauce egg feels Taiwanese, and so does the fried bread, and so does some pork sausage. Do I like it? Yes, get it, but only if you can share it with or near a live pig. All right, guys, we've come to our next location, and this food is very special. This is stinky tofu. Right here on each of these skewers, you can see this tofu has already been fried. But before it's fried, it's made stinky, and that's by almost fermenting it, letting it rot with some delicious bacteria. Right now, they're making what they call stinky tofu barbecue. First, you have the fried tofu right here, then it's slathered in barbecue, then she puts on cabbage. Once the cabbage is on, she applies some Taiwanese barbecue. Then when you order it, she puts on even more spices. And there's coriander going on top too. But can this delicate coriander handle the intensity of the stinky tofu? We're about to find out. All All right, folks, we have our meal right here. It costs $1.85. Well, I want to tell you why this food is very special to me. You see, first of all, stinky tofu, not for the faint of heart. This is going to be bold. Now, I got to say, that scared the shit out of me. I know you think there's a drive-by happening right now. No, there's just a balloon game. For those of you who don't know what stinky tofu smells like, I would say, you know in the summer when you go to a dumpster and there's a bunch of liquid on the bottom, but it's not just liquid, it's really hot liquid, so it's kind of rancid too. It smells like that, and people here love it. Let's go for it. Wow, that was intense. The stinky tofu, it really stinks. My whole mouth is just like a rancid cesspool right now. But beyond that, she put this chili pepper on there that's very spicy. So I don't know if it's more smelly or more spicy, but either way, it's causing a lot of pain and confusion. It's one of those foods that grows on you with each bite. The fried texture of the tofu, amazing. It's like it's got a leathery, crunchy coat on top of it. The first time I saw Andrew Zimmern on television, he was in Taiwan eating this food. And he was talking about how potent and crazy this smell was.
It looks, sounds, and smells a lot worse than it tastes.
Now, me and Andrew Zimmern will be joined together in holy matrimony. Do they allow that in Taiwan? They probably do. So that is the stinky tofu. Maybe not the most delicious, but definitely worth trying. We have come to our next location. Right here, a simple menu. This is what I like. I don't want too many options. I want pictures. This picture is looking nice to me right here because I see a big fat egg in the middle and I see shrimp soup with egg. Is there anything else I need to know? No. If you take a look right here, you can see these eggs are in some kind of a water or a broth. Oh, these are not chicken eggs. It turns out, in fact, that these are duck eggs. This dish is much more interesting. Let's order one and see how it works. Boom. All right. It starts with a bowl full of celery. Then we come over here and we have some spiced cabbage. Right here, the fat, partially cooked duck egg. That goes in next. Then we have our shrimp balls and a little bit of broth. And that is complete. Thank you. All right, folks, meal number 12, 18, I've lost count. I got 3 because I kept getting bad angles. You guys ever accidentally have to get 3 more because your angles were bad? Just me? Come take a look at this. The broth looking a little bit watery. Then we have the shrimp. It's not really a shrimp ball as much as it is a shrimp covered with stuff. And then that is a big, beautiful duck egg. Try a little bit of broth. Ah, I like it. Celery stalk. Next, take a look at these guys. They look bouncy. They look artificially orange. I like it. It's really hot. That was a bad take. Let's do it again. This is why you have to have 3, 4, sometimes I'll have 7 dishes lined up just so I get the perfect bite. All right, my very first time trying the shrimp. Let's give it a shot. Very bouncy, and then it tastes like they've fried it or put some kind of breading on the outside that's got soggy at this point. Oh, right here, take a look at that. That is no normal egg. That came out of the butt of a duck. It's a duck butt egg. Right here, I've got the ultimate bite. A little bit of shrimp, a little bit of duck egg, some of that cabbage, and broth. I love it. There's something about the duck egg. It's like a little bit bigger and the yolk is a little bit more creamy. In Asia, they embrace it and I think we should too, folks. This was delicious. I'm not sure how much more I have in me, but we must keep going. We've come here for another food. Right now we're in the back of the stall. This is called guapao. Is that right? All right, a local person said that was correct and not offensive. Why is she holding a light? Anyways, take a look at this. Right inside of here, beautiful braised pork. It looks so delicious, soft and succulent. That is gonna go inside of our guapao. Okay, so right here you can see the bao buns. Inside they're steaming, they look delicious. They're in a giant steaming basket. 1 guapao, please. The first thing he does is put some peanut powder in there. Then this is pickled mustard greens. And then finally, the succulent braised pork in those soft buns. He's hiding it from me. Hit it with a little bit of cilantro, and then we got some more peanut, and that is complete. Thank you. This guy is a guabao machine. All right, folks, we have our guabao right here. Is that really how you say it? Okay, I feel racist the more I say it, but you gotta embrace that feeling sometimes, guys. Sonny's saying embrace racism. Moving on, the food, it's here. It's all about that steamy bread inside the vegetables. Fine, they're necessary for contrast, but what we really care about right there is the braised pork. You can see it's been soaked a dark color, probably because of soy sauce. You know, because I am a fat American, the only thing it's missing is mayonnaise. It's delicious. The pork is tender and juicy. The pickled mustard greens adds a little bit of sourness and a little bit of texture, but man, it's all about those steamy buns. So soft and they're almost like elastic, like stretchy. Like you could wrap anything in there. Take a look at that. That's just pure fat. Who needs mayonnaise when you have pure pork fat? Plus, a little bit of that crushed peanut is nice. I taste it. It's sweet too. There's some sugar in there as well. This is Taiwan between a couple of buns, and I love it. All right, folks, we've come to our final location because after this, I cannot fit any more greasy food inside of me. They have so many interesting chicken parts. First of all, chicken wings, chicken drummies. Over here, a whole pile of chicken hearts. I mean, it's pure carnage. Can you imagine all those hearts were pumping the blood of a whole chicken? That's like 300 hearts right there. Wild. After that right here, we have classic Taiwanese fried chicken. And then this right here is my favorite part. And something you won't see at KFC. This is, any guesses, everybody? You're looking at it. That is the ass of the chicken, a part that's often unappreciated. I have a feeling that our American asses are being exported out of the USA and to here where they actually appreciate a good ass. Let's get some ass. May I please have some ass? He said no. Okay, here we go. Right here, he's gonna scoop the ass into a colander. That is not nearly enough ass. Oh, he hits it with a little bit of powder. I've asked for even more ass. He piles the ass. He puts it on the scale. He weighs the ass. He hits it with a little bit of spicy powder. Yes. Oh no, I said spicy yes. He put even more powder. He puts it in a popcorn bag. And before I know it, my life has flashed before my eyes. Ooh, unnecessary plastic. That's for the ocean, and that is for me. Let's eat. All right, folks, this is the final meal, and I mean it this time. He said it was a whole extended family. So we got the hearts here. Here, obviously, asses, and these are very petite asses. Definitely Asian chickens. Not an acceptable joke. I am sorry. I apologize. Let's move forward. Now, he piled on the super spicy seasoning. Let's see how it is. Cheers. That's unbelievable. It's super salty, but it's also very sweet, like it's been soaking in a syrup. That's wild. Good heart. Now, a lot of people, their intuition is led by their heart, but for even more people, their intuition is led by their ass. It is surprisingly small. I'm guessing there's no bones, but there's probably some like cartilage inside. Let's give it a shot. Cheers. Wow, like pure fat. It's crunchy on the outside. It's super fatty, like melting, like a stick of chicken butter in my mouth. There's a little bit of cartilage that exists inside. Some of the best ass I've ever put in my mouth.
So, after a full night of dining on street food, did I hit my goal of spending over $100? Sadly, no. So now, I'm turning my aim away from breaking the bank and toward binging on the bazaar. I've made my way to the northernmost point of Taiwan on a mission to seek out this island's most exotic seafood in a giant seafood market known as Fuji.
So here's how it works. This building is full of the live seafood. You choose what you want here, and then you go over here to the restaurant. Inside there, they're gonna cook it for you, and you can eat it. But first, we gotta find some seafood in here. Let's go. We have come to our first vendor right here. I would say in this market there are about 25 vendors and all of them have different stuff. So you really need to check out everything before you finally choose what you want to buy. Boom, right here. This is probably a Boston lobster. It's looking very lively. He was really trying to make a break for it. Imagine if he escaped and then got where? Buddy, you're in Taiwan. You're not in the New York, Boston area anymore. Speaking of lobsters, they also have these giant red spiny lobsters, rainbow lobsters, giant spiny ones over here. But my favorite thing about this place is the junk drawer of seafood that they have right here. So he's gonna show us some of the cool seafood he has right here. Guys, take a look at this and see if you can figure out what it actually is. This is eggs of a cuttlefish. It feels like grapes. So if you look deep on the inside, you can see a little cuttlefish swimming around. They have one more I want to show you. Oh, here we have a little puffer fish gasping for breath. Oh, and he's oh my God, he's puffing it up. I don't know if the fish consented to that. Wow, the little spiky things just feel like cartilage. It's not that painful. Time to put it back. I'm so sorry. Yeah, deflate, buddy, deflate. All right, let's keep moving. Boom, we've come to our next location right here. This is Shu Fan. Ah, ni hao. She. Loaded seafood right here. First of all, some of the biggest oysters I've ever seen in my life. That is huge. Ah, I have no idea what she said. Is there just one oyster in here? Just one? Can you open it right now and show me?
Okay.
So first she cleans it up a little bit. To shuck it, she shoves a knife in, she hits it with a mallet. She rips the top of the shell off, gives it a little bit of a spritz. I'm telling you, those Fukushima oysters are wild. She drains a bit of water and then she says, hey, go for it. Nobody ever does this, but you can if you want. That sack right there is still breathing. Oh, it's alive. It's alive! I'm gonna, you know, just like fruit by the foot. Wow, how's it? Oh my God, you can see my bite mark. Aphrodisiac, in effect. That might have been a mistake. It was so gigantic, I just wanted to know if I could fit it in my mouth. Next food. So I want to show you one of the local crabs here. This is a group of very active and lively Taiwanese crabs. Take a few of these, throw them in a hot pot, and you're set. But we're not here for this. I'm looking for something a little bit more exotic. Look at that mouth. He's like, am I not exotic enough for you? Take a look at what we got here. These are some massive creatures. Oh, wow. Look at that. This is very PG, possibly PG-13. So this is called MELO, and it's interesting compared to other sea snails because it can hardly go back inside of its own shell. Most snails can retreat all the way, and this guy, he's not hiding from anybody. Ugh. I'm gonna buy one of these MELOs, take it to the kitchen, and see what the heck they do with it. Boom, right now we are in the kitchen and this place is busy. Everyone's bringing their seafood over here to get cooked. All right, folks, it's time for some snail action. Oh my God, the mallet comes out immediately. He's beating the snail to death, and in the end, that is what comes out. That is our meat. This guy works quickly and efficiently. Absolutely no messing around. He's cutting it into different sections. Little bitty thin slices coming off of that giant MELO snail. Right there, that is basically the snail's head, and I think that is the snail antenna. Oh my gosh, it's absolute seafood carnage in here. It looks like they threw the snail into a wood chipper, but I bet it's gonna be pretty good. Right here we have our snail, and then he puts it in a waffle of hot water. This kitchen is insane. There's so much action. I'm starting to understand why they don't usually let people come into the kitchen. This place is a storm. He gives the snails a little bit of a stir. Boom, take it out. Give it a little bit of a rinse. From here he takes the snail and puts it into a different container. He hits it with a little bit of veggie. He puts in some minced garlic, some chilies, and then some gravy, some more spices, more flavoring. This is seasoning. Another type of seasoning. He gives it a little bit of a mix. It looks like that is it. Oh no, my snail, come back. The first official food of the day, so let's get into it. It's a ton of protein. That might be an eye right there. I'm more of an ass man myself. Let me find that crack from earlier. Ah, maybe that's it. All right, cheers. That's pretty good. When you prepare snail in this way, it is insanely hard. So it's important to cut it into very thin slices. The sauce is amazing. A lot of the sauces here in Taiwan, there's something sweet, sugary, and soy saucy in it. Wife bite. Wow, I got this. See, mixed emotions. But let's talk about the price. For just the snail, it's about $15. If you want it cooked, here it costs about $6.20. Is it worth it? Hold on, I'll answer when I'm done chewing. Actually, I think it's delicious. Look, I'll tell you something that's not delicious. Do you remember those cuttlefish eggs from earlier? That stall vendor said I could come back and eat the egg raw. Do I want to do it? No. But I'll do it for you guys after I eat this whole plate. All right, we're headed to the man who has the cuttlefish eggs. Ni hao, my man. So he's got it right here, and he's taking the skin off of it, and now he's kind of stretching the egg. Oh my God, that is a baby cuttlefish in this amniotic fluid right here. Oh, it's inking. Oh, you made me ink. I'm gonna eat it. It's not much there. It's very salty. Wow. Kind of. Poor baby. It was born, it got to see the world, it got freaked out and inked, and then it got eaten by a giant. But at least it was seen by millions of people? 5 million people? 10 million would be nice, guys. On to the next food. Well, now that I've eaten a microscopic cuttlefish and its ink, I'm ready to cleanse my palate with a little bit more of seafood touring. Right over here, there are a bunch of Taiwanese sea eels. Right here we have the bag, and he's gonna dump it out into the bucket. Oh, take a look at that guy. People are so afraid of these things, they will not take it out and hold it or anything like that. They said they bite, and when they bite deep. I would be very impressed if it could jump up and bite anybody from there. Oh my God, is it coming out? These things are tough as heck. This soon is gonna go inside my body. Who's the real predator? I also have a deep bite. And we're back in the kitchen. In just a moment, the chef is gonna dispatch the eel. Let's see how it goes. Step one, he grabs his trusted cleaver. He aims for the neck. He studies the movement patterns of the eel. Boom, okay. And just like that, the eel has been decapitated. From here, he's gonna chop up the eel. They're gonna put it into this hot oil right here. This is the frying station. Boom, and just like that, after about 8 minutes, it is finished frying all the way through. From here, my man is loading up a load of different spices and seasonings. Tons of flavor. All of that goes into the wok. Hit it with a little bit of oil. oil, and soon this is gonna join this. Boom, he takes some soy sauce, some salt, some sugar, and he throws that in the wok. He hits it with a little bit more spicy sauce. Right here we have cornstarch to make it thick. Boom, soon that's gonna become a gravy. Next he takes this thick, beautiful sauce and he puts it all over the top of the eel. And that is our final product. Wow, that eel really got a glow up. This is pretty stunning, I gotta say. Take a look at this midsection. I don't even know if they took out the intestines and stuff. Also, turns out the chef pretty afraid of the eel. He had to kill it through the bag. Am I afraid of the eel? Absolutely not. Look, it's in little pieces now. So let's give it a shot. Cheers. It's just like this sweet glaze that's coating every single nook and cranny of the eel. The backbone is right in the middle. All the meat surrounds it. I think I just ate a pancreas. The skin is still a little bit crunchy, and then the fish is just like this super flaky, delicate white meat. This eel had a really peculiar shape. It had the head, and then its chest section is a little bit thicker, and then it narrows down, and then it just gets smaller as it goes down. This, I believe, was that big, thick chest area. It's delicious. It's a really clean flavor, but not a strong flavor. So it's the right move to pair it with all these strong, sweet, savory, delicious ingredients. That said, let's talk about the price. The eel itself cost $26.28, and for the cooking, it was about $8. What do you think? Would you pay that much for an eel? Do I find it delicious? I actually do. That said, we're only partway through our journey. There are a lot more weird creatures of the deep that I plan to go suss out. And we're back at it again. A little bit more touring and a little bit more finding one more food to eat, or maybe two. I'm not sure yet. Right here, boom, giant shark. It looks somewhat similar to a nurse shark that I've seen in the past, but I'm told locally it might be a cat shark. Is that a thing? I'm not getting it today, but my God, it's amazing to see what is for sale at some of these markets. Let's keep going. We come to another vendor here. Right here, this is a slipper lobster. Oh, I'm tickling it. It doesn't care. Look at the crazy legs on the inside. It looks like a face hugger, but check out this one. This is a starfish. Right here we have the vendor. Why do you have a starfish?
外劳帮我捡起来教学给小朋友看。
So they don't actually make any use of it. It does have a purpose though. When kids come here, it's another play box of seafood. The kids can come here, play with it, and then after it dies, you know, throw it back in the ocean. It's fine. It's a starfish. Now let's talk about something I can actually eat. Take a look at this big, beautiful creature. Oh my gosh, look at its mouth. So this is known as a shovel-nose ray. Oh, it's trying to flutter away. It's so cute. Right here, it has kind of a skull, a bony area that houses all the organs. And then from here, it's just spine. So there's meat all along here and here. And all of, oh, I think I just cracked its back. All of this can be consumed. 好吃. Is it? 好吃. She said it's yummy. That's the only word I know. Our food is in this bag. Soon it will be executed by this man, the seafood punisher. The shovel-nose ray is being taken out of the bag. Oh my God. And he throws it in the sea. I call this man the Punisher. I was not wrong. It is finished steaming already, and he gives it a nice scrub down. Oh man, this is a real skincare routine right here. From here, it's time to hack it into little bitty pieces. He takes out the guts, and from here, he is chopping down the rest of the ray. And just like that, our big, beautiful ray has been reduced to a pile of meat. From here, the ray goes into the oil for a nice deep fry. After about 5 minutes, they take out the whole ray. They put it inside of the steel pot. Right here, we've got some fried garlic and fried anchovies. We've got chilies. We've got green onions. We've got sesame oil. He just poured in some rice wine. That is on fire right now. Hit it with a little bit of sugar. Wow, this thing is really firing up, and that's just the sauce. Next, he puts in the shovel-nose ray. Tossing, turning, getting every piece of this coated with that thick sauce. Staring at it intently. What could this man be thinking? He puts in some greens. Here we go. He's gonna put it inside the bowl. Absolutely stunning. And that, my friends, is complete. Time to dine. What can I say, guys? A moment ago, this was one of God's amazing creatures, and now it's here. That said, let's try it out. So this looks like some nice mushy meat. We've got some greens here. Cheers. Super salty from the soy sauce, smoky, sweet, ooh, with the herbs, a little bit of everything. My God, I really love the flavors that people are using here so far in Taiwan. Look at that. What part is it? He really beat it up in that wok, so now the whole thing is discombobulated. The meat texture, it's similar to the eel in that it's like basically falling apart. It's a little bit mushy. It doesn't have a strong bite to it, but it doesn't matter. When you have a sauce this delicious, I could put this on, what's something gross? I could put this on something gross and it would become delicious. Ah, there we go. Good metaphor. Take a look at this bite. For a second, it looks like pork skin. You do have to chew with caution. There are some big, hard chunks in there, but overall, it's delicious. So let's talk about price. For the whole ray right here, it costs just short of $25, plus to cook it, a little bit more than $7. So far, the most expensive thing we've eaten today, but I gotta say, it's not worth it because it's a lot of food. It's worth it because this is an experience I will never have again. That said, I have an exotic seafood creature-shaped space remaining in my stomach. That didn't make any sense. That said, I have room in my stomach for one more creature of the deep. Let's go back inside for a fourth time and take a look at what we can find. We have come to our final food vendor of the day. After this, I swear to God, I'm done, potentially forever, or until next week. First of all, slightly controversial, this. It feels gelatinous and gooey, and that's because it is a shark fin. It's a very appreciated shark appendage for some here in Taiwan, but that's not as interesting as this right here. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wow, is that a big piece of horse dung? Actually, no. This is a sea cucumber. The spongy, gelatinous texture on here, it is so bizarre. Oh my gosh. So that's a sea cucumber, but what I really want to show you is the final food we're going to be eating today, and that is this guy, a blue lobster. Take a look at that. Beautiful, bright blue shell, big claws, and look, it's still alive. Hey, don't get away from me. It's crazy. Can I be honest, guys? It's dead. I'm sorry to have lied to you. This is a lobster that came all the way from France. It's either known as a European lobster or a French blue lobster. In the USA, in the Boston area, if you catch a lobster and it's blue, it's about a 1 in a million shot that you would find something like that. I've never had a blue lobster before, so for me, this is exotic. Anyways, today we're gonna see if a European blue lobster actually tastes different from a Boston red lobster. All right, folks, it is time for my man to do his work. He's unwrapping it like Christmas morning. The arms fell right off. There's not much to inspect. He puts it right into the steamer, and we'll see that in about 20 minutes. 20 minutes has passed. We are taking the lobster out to take a look. He uses his scissors to cut it open. I gotta say, that doesn't look that great to me. So right now, he's gonna break every piece of the crab open and extract all the meat out. I gotta say, a little bit more drama than I expected with this last course here. First of all, the first one, immediately after the chef cut it up, his intuition was telling him, this is not a good lobster. So then we went back, we got a different one. That one was frozen solid. He put it in the steamer, and this pooped out. Let's talk about what separates the Taiwanese preparation of lobster from any other place. Namely, this giant mountain of mayonnaise. It is huge. Now, under there is some tail meat. I'm gonna dig into that soon. But first, I'm gonna attempt to retrieve the meat from this here claw. Oh man, it's not looking great so far. Ideally, the claw meat would kind of be coming out, not be sticking to the inside of the shell. If I'm honest, it seems like terrible quality, but let me give it a shot. Yeah. No, I was right. Not juicy, dry. This is one of the worst lobster claws I've ever had in my life. Right now I'm trying to figure out, is it the actual lobster species that is the difference? Or is it the preparation? Or is it the lack of freshness? This claw meat is a sad state of affairs. There's almost no fat left in there, but maybe that's why they like to eat it with mayonnaise. This is the perfect way to hide the dryness of the lobster. There we go. A little bit of cabbage, a little bit of lobster, a little bit of mayonnaise. Cheers. The mayo here is awesome. It's very sweet. It's almost just like a salad dressing. On top of that, you're basically eating coleslaw with lobster in it. The dryness of the lobster, gone, because they simply put 300 calories of mayonnaise on top. Simple life hack. Delicious, I love it. Every other part of the lobster, not good at all. 1 out of 10. Sadly, this is my introduction to the French blue crab. One day in the future, I must travel back to France. I will have to try this lobster again and see if this is truly how it's meant to taste, because I kind of don't think it is. Let's talk about the price. For this whole lobster experience, it's just a little bit over $46. Not bad for an animal that you're gonna throw half in the garbage. Then the cooking is just over $6. That makes this the most expensive thing that we've tried today. Also, in some ways, the weirdest.
After a day of dining on Nemo's classmates, it's clear folks here know how to handle their seafood. But still, I feel a crucial Asian staple has gone missing from our menu. I'm talking about noodles. Next, I'm crisscrossing Taipei in an effort to find this country's cheapest noodles, oldest noodles, best noodles, and these wildly expensive noodles coming in at over $300. But let's work our way up, starting with the bowl that costs less than $1.
We have come to our first and cheapest location of the day, right behind me. Here they're serving a few different types of noodles and a lot of pork organs. Which organs? I don't know. They kind of just cut up whatever they want to, throw it on a plate and give it to you. In a moment, I'm gonna go check out the noodles, but first, let's check out the menu. Let me tell you the problem here. Making a menu like this is tough because it is very permanent, but prices fluctuate a lot, especially these days. Thanks a lot, Gerald Ford. What you can see here is that a lot of the base prices are around 20 Taiwanese dollars. In American dollars, that is 62 cents. The prices here are insanely affordable, but I want to see what I get for that amount of money. Is it going to be delicious? Let's go in and find out. Boom, I am in the Dragon's Den right now. This is the kitchen. There are 2 people busy at work here, and there are just a load of ingredients scattered everywhere. It looks really good. Let me show you some of the noodle options they have here. Here on this table, you can see they have a few different types of noodles, including these flat noodles. And they have these noodles, and they have these noodles. And they have these noodles. These are actually bean sprouts.
This morning's affordable bowl of yum starts with thick-cut rice noodles. Blanch it in the noodle net with bean sprouts. All that gets tossed in a bowl with green onions, crispy fried shallots, and a spoonful of Taiwan's famous minced pork. Finally, a generous pour of rich pork bone broth to make this bowl complete.
Meal 1, 62 cents for that. This is more, we'll talk about that soon. Immediately, you can kind of see why it would be on the cheap end. The only protein is right here in the form of a kind of a Taiwanese pork sauce. Then we've got bean sprouts, we've got a little bit of dried shrimp, and these green onions. The rest is just delicious broth and those flat rice noodles. Let's start with the broth. It's slightly porky, very oily, and there's a lot of MSG. That's what it tastes like. Overall, it is heartwarming. I do like it. I think they cooled down enough. I'm gonna take a shot at these fat rice noodles. You know, they look like a pho noodle, but it's nothing like a pho noodle. They're very fat, bouncy, a bit more elastic too. But I gotta say, when you take a bite of that, not a lot of flavor popping off. I'm gonna look at what else is on the table. A little bit of pepper. This looks pretty good. Oh my God, that looks like it might have some flavor. Does this go in soup? I have no idea. Time to try it again. Second bite. Cheers. It's so hot. I think the best part of the noodles is the texture. They're so bouncy. When it comes to the flavor, there's not a lot of it. I hope I'm doing something wrong, but maybe this is just what people like. Over here we have our side dish. For an additional 95 cents, you can get this plate of assorted random pig organs. When I asked what he was gonna be putting on the plate, he just said basically, whatever I want to.
Everyone who gets noodles here also orders this, a plate full of random and mysterious meat cuts, a medley of pork organs including heart, liver, and intestine. After chopping, they take a dip in a bubbling broth. Then they're dumped out and doused with a sweet, mysterious brown sauce.
So come take a look at what we got. We've got some ginger and thick soy-based sauce on top. This intestine, that liver, that, I don't know. This might just be actual meat. Let's try that. Cheers. Soft, braised for days, tender. Right here, they've got some liver. The liver is very good, a bit soft, not too livery. And then you've got the intestines. You can literally look into this one, see inside. Now, I don't see any remnants of an old Taco Bell meal or anything like that. Oh, wow. I'm telling you, intestine's not the ideal way to start your day. But here, it's a little bit gamey, mostly gelatinous. It feels like it's been braised for a long time. It's pretty good. So this is breakfast, and our first noodle of the day coming in at a very affordable price.
From here, we're leaving behind the cheapest noodles and heading to the oldest noodle joint in town, a place that's been slanging nudes since the dawn of modern Taiwan.
We have come to our second noodle location right behind me, Lao Dun. Right. This is one of the oldest noodle locations that you will find in Taipei. It was opened in 1949. And I know what you're thinking. That's not that long ago. My dad was born before that. Here they have a food that has roots in China. Their famous dish is known as dan dan noodles. I know this is a very famous noodle, but it's gonna be my first time trying it out. Let's go inside and take a look. All right, folks, I'm in the kitchen at our second location. This place is feeling slightly more modern. Let me tell you, the noodle nets that they have here, they're on a timer. That means when these noodles are ready and finished, they automatically come up. It's like an automatic fryer basket, but for noodles. Today, I'm gonna be trying a variety of dan dan noodles. It's called jia dan noodles. Let's get into it.
Dan dan are made with a wheat noodle, giving it a firm, chewy texture that stands up to its accompanying bold, spicy, and savory sauce. The final flavor is complex, but the bowl's assembly is simple and straightforward. Start with a hit of savory soy sauce, then creamy sesame paste, and a sprinkle of green scallions. A dash of Szechuan pepper adds a tingling buzz. Then we're ready for the noodles. The noodles head directly from the blanching basket to the bowl, before they're topped with a pile of savory minced meat and a bit more scallion.
Our second bowl of noodles for the day, right here. You can see on top of the dry noodle, they have this soybean paste. I'm gonna start just by trying out the soybean taste. This is what makes it different from the usual dan dan. Let's see how it is. Cheers. That's very good. Actually, it's a mixture of soybean paste, but it's also mixed with minced pork. So it's super salty. Then you have the pork flavor in there, so it's got some texture to it too. Amazing. This is a dry noodle. So what we want to do is actually kind of wake up the seasonings and spices that are at the bottom of the noodle. I'm doing my best to really like rotate and get this sauce all over everything. There's just like not that much stuff in the bowl, period. A little bit of minced pork, some of the sauce, a little bit of noodles. Let's give it a shot. Cheers. Wow, that's delicious. This is like the ultimate carb bomb. There's a bit of minced pork, but come on, what is that, 5 grams of protein? This is really all about the noodle. And what's great about the noodle is it has this al dente texture to it. So it's not soft like that rice noodle we had earlier that was a little bit more soft and bouncy. This has some nice bite to it. Super delicious. I can see why people like this. It's very addicting. One of the things I read about dandan noodles is they're usually spicy because they have the Szechuan peppercorn inside. So I was hoping for a little bit of that numbing zing that you get from Szechuan peppers, but here today, I'm not feeling it. I mean, maybe they saw my complexion in the kitchen and they thought, this guy can't handle it. This is a delicious noodle, but it's a noodle that goes way back in history. 1949, basically the year that Taiwan became the Taiwan that we know it as today, the sovereign nation of Taiwan.
From the city's oldest noodles, we're now heading to a mall basement to track down the best noodles in Taipei, a place where the noodles are hand-carved before your very eyes.
Boom, we've come to our third noodle location right here. This place is known as Lao Shandong. Not only that, here, additionally, the noodles are made by hands, not just one hand, several hands. You should see how many hands are back there. And it's in a mall. What's up with noodle restaurants in malls? Even in Hong Kong, one of the Michelin-rated noodle restaurants we went to was in a mall as well. There's something secret about being in a mall. This place, similar to the last restaurant, has a long history. It started back in 1949, so it's also the oldest restaurant. This place is highly regarded for its beef noodle soup, and it has earned a Bib Gourmand recommendation from the Michelin Guide. Bib Gourmand, what's that mean? Sounds French. So right now I'm in the kitchen. This place, it's a well-oiled machine. They have a big staff and they move smoothly and efficiently. Right now I'm in the noodle making section. Take a look at these guys. These are thick cut noodles cut by hand. We're gonna see how the process works now.
At Lao Shandong Homemade Noodles, the noodle magic begins with flour, water, and salt, kneaded together until the dough is smooth and elastic. The dough gets its beauty rest, allowing the gluten network that's formed during kneading to relax. When ready, it's portioned into smaller chunks. Then it's rolled out into thin sheets using a noodle machine.
So next, this super flat dough is gonna become noodles. He takes his giant rolling pin and he rolls up the noodle. He feeds it through the sheeter. It poops out even thinner noodles. From here, he takes out this ultra thin noodle sheet. He wraps it around the pin, rolling up the entire thing. Then here, he methodically moves the noodles back and forth, creating a stack of noodles that will be easily cut soon. So he cuts the noodles very thick, then he whips the strands out, adds a bit of flour. From here, he portions the noodles into the appropriate length. Once he's cut the noodles down to size, he gathers them up together and he dumps them right here in the bin, and these are now ready to go into some boiling water. So right now I'm headed into the kitchen where they're about to make my dish. It is shredded pork with pickle. I gotta be really careful in here because there are a lot of bubbling cauldrons of hot water and a lot of action. So right here, these are the beautiful noodles we saw already. Right now they're going into the boiling net. I just love the look of these fat, thick cut, wide noodles. Noodles are being drip dried, then fed into this giant bowl. Right here we have the shredded pork and pickle mixture. She's gonna hit it with a little bit of oil, salt, MSG, green onions, and then she's gonna dump in this glorious hot pork broth. And then the owner of this place putting some sesame oil on top, and that dish is complete. We have our third noodle meal of the day in front of me right now for $2.78. You can get all of this right here. This is shredded pork. I gotta say, for the price, a decent amount of meat, but it's really all about these lavish noodles. Noodles I just saw made in front of my very eyes moments ago. In a moment, I'm gonna be biting into those noodles, but first, pork skin, or whatever this is right here. I saw them working on this as soon as I came in. It was coming out of big molds, and it looked like there was some kind of pork ear in here or something. It turns out it is a pork skin Jello?
Pork jello, as I call it, is a savory treat made by simmering pork bones and skin in water, then combining it with Chinese 5-spice until you get a rich, flavorful broth. As it cools, it morphs into a gelatinous texture, creating a porky bite of jello.
Not your typical type of jello. I like my jello usually mixed with strawberries, bananas, but why not with pork skin? Let's go for it. What if I told you that was lovely? Oh my God, that's really good. That tastes like a gelatinized pho broth. It tastes like Chinese 5-spice. Mixed into a jello, it's jiggly, and then the skin is gelatinous. I was not expecting to fall in love with that today, but that's pretty dang good. I must cleanse my palate of this pork skin and get into this, starting with the broth. Let's give it a shot. A very gentle broth, very savory, a bit of fattiness. He put a big squirt of sesame oil at the end. It imparts a delicious smoky flavor onto whatever you put it on. Good broth. I can't believe this whole bowl is just under $3. Take a look at these chunky handmade noodles. The fact that he was able to use the rolling pin and maneuver this long sheet of noodles back and forth to make a perfect stack that he could cut piece by piece. It's super impressive. Let's see how it tastes. Cheers. That's the best noodle so far today. It's got body, it's got bite, it's almost pillowy, and it really soaks up the sauce just perfectly. But this isn't just about the noodles. Here we have the shredded pork mixed with the pickled vegetables. Everything here is on point. The pork is perfect, flavorful, juicy. It tastes like pork. And then the pickled vegetables has some great bite to it. It almost feels like jicama. This is the most remarkable $3 you could spend probably anywhere. So far, we have tried 3 different types of noodles in Taiwan. Each noodle is getting a bit better than the one before it. But next we're moving from something that costs under $3 to something that costs over 100 times the price of this bowl right here. But is it over 100 times better? I'm going to find out.
6 years ago, I ventured to Taiwan in search of the most expensive bowl of noodles I could find, not just in the country, but in all of Asia. Many questioned whether these noodles were even worth trying, with some saying it was an absolute waste of money.
Welcome to our 4th and final noodle location of the day. Behind me, Nyo Baba.
Nyo Baba Beef Noodle, a place where beef noodles hit the high notes and the high prices.
Here, they have the most expensive noodles you will find in Taiwan.
The beef here is sourced from top-tier Wagyu cattle, meticulously prepared to melt in your mouth.
Last time I went here, a lot of you in the comments were talking I'm talking haters. People looking at this man and his delicious beef recipe saying, hey, over $300 is ridiculous. No one should ever pay that for noodles. Well, guess what? I'm gonna tell him about your comments and see what he thinks about your thoughts about his noodles. It's been 6 years and he's still here, baby.
Get ready for Taiwan's expensivest noodle.
Sir, it's been 6 years since I've been here. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too.
My first question, how is everything going?
It's
been a bit tough during COVID, but it's going well overall. Business is okay.
During COVID, did anybody order that $300 noodle for takeaway?
Maybe just 1 or 2 people.
Were they drunk?
Maybe.
Most people come over and order in the restaurant. We also prefer not to offer delivery for the most expensive dishes because they're way better when you dine in.
I totally agree. Last time I was here, I put the video on YouTube. Did you read the comments?
Yeah, I read the comments.
What do you say to these people that have these criticisms about your very expensive noodles?
The people have different opinions, and I take them seriously. I'm here to refine and perfect, to prove that every bowl is worth every penny.
It's not about making the most expensive bowl, it's about making the best possible bowl.
I'm not saying it's the best noodle out there, but this is how I envision the ideal bowl. I'm always open to discussions and feedback from customers to keep making it better and better.
Standing his ground, yet humble at the same time. Sir, thank you so much.
谢谢。
Shay Shay. Right now I'm in the kitchen and the cooking is about to begin, but here's one thing that was not mentioned in the interview that's kind of interesting. You see, the price is the same as it was about 6 years ago, 10,000 Taiwanese dollars. But back then that was about $340. Now it's about $310. So technically I'm getting a 10% discount right now because of the exchange rate and how it's changed over time.
The magic of this place is in its high quality ingredients.
Here we have the noodles going into the blanching nets,
Freshly made noodles are cooked to just the right texture.
and they're put inside the bowl.
And the whole bowl is assembled with a careful balance of ingredients. It starts with the finest cuts of Wagyu beef.
And then he puts in some ribs. Here we have a mix of tendon and beef. Then we have some Wagyu steak.
The broth is a masterpiece on its own.
So I'm told this one is going to be on the bottom. This one is going to be on the top. I've never seen something like this, 2 broths working together.
Simmered for hours using premium beef bones, beef marrow, and beef gelatin. But that's just the first layer. The second layer brings the zing, the extraction of beef stew with herbs, jazzed up with soy sauce, rock sugar, and 5-spice.
Oh my gosh, just look at that insanely rich color. At last we have the final bowl right here. It looks amazing. Sir, thank you so much. All right, right, folks, we've done it. This is the most expensive noodle you'll find in Taiwan and quite possibly the most expensive noodle you'll find in all of Asia. Let's talk about the price, actually. I've got the menu right here. The menu here is very wide-ranging, from very accessible, affordable food for as much as $280. That's under $10 to this right here. This bowl right here costs $309.16. The presidential beef noodle soup uses only the most ultra premium beef. It's not just A5, it's A6.5. It is beef fit for royalty. It was launched in 2007, and it is a culinary masterpiece offered by New Baba. That gave me goosebumps reading that. The color in this broth is unlike any other type of beef noodle you will ever see. It is such a peculiar shade of brown. It's gorgeous. Time to give it a shot. Let's go. It's so good. It's such a wild flavor. It is like one of the most deep, complex beef broths you will ever taste in your life. The balance between light and heavy, it's pretty much perfect. I don't know how you get too much better than that. Then there's the beef. There's a few different cuts in here. This is half tendon, half beef. And you can actually see they've used a scissors or some kind of an instrument to cut the meat down to this perfect shape and size, guaranteeing that you only get the most beautiful, perfect bite. I'm gonna give it a shot. Cheers. Oh man, tender, gelatinous, sticky tendon mixed with a little bit of meat from the beef melts in your mouth. It's delicious. Before we have any more beef, let's talk about that noodle. This is a much more thin noodle, a refined noodle. Let's give it a shot. Cheers. Very good noodle, perfectly bouncy. It's got some bite to it. It's slightly chewy. It's so good. Right here, we have some of that Wagyu. Look at it cut into perfect little cubes. It's juicy. You can actually see the fat striations going throughout the protein. And I'm gonna mix some of that with some of this noodle. Let's give it a shot. Oh my God, it's unbelievably good. I wish I could tell you that the owner of this stall was standing behind the camera with a gun to my head, but he's not. He told me to say he's not. It literally melts on your tongue, and it's the perfect blend of flavors when you have those chewy noodles. For me, it's a 10 out of 10. In talking to the owner, I gotta say, I really like his point of view. When you make a dish like this, you're putting yourself out on a limb. You're exposing yourself to criticism. This is somebody trying to create culinary perfection, constantly changing this living recipe, adjusting it over time, and making it better and better as he gets closer and closer to perfection.
Noodles are amazing, but they have one problem. One bowl is just one food, and that's just not enough. Next, I'm headed to Taiwan's biggest, most expensive buffet, where they're serving over 300 foods. But first, a quick stop at Taipei's cheapest buffet. Let's move.
Right behind me, we've come to our first crazy affordable location. The restaurant is called Da Wei Wan. Here they're serving hot pot, but you can also grill up the meat too. It costs only 250 Taiwanese dollars or $7.72. That is extremely affordable. When I first came here, I thought there must be a catch. How is it that you can come here and eat as much hot pot and grill as much meat as you want to for under $10? The only stipulation is that you only have 90 minutes. The other way they save money is on staff. Here you don't exactly have a server. You need to go up and get all the food yourself. That's like most buffets though, huh? Now, to go in your hot pot, they have over 50 items you can choose from. And what's great is you can just go scoop up all the ingredients you want to for yourself. But we are in Taiwan. They have some very unique ingredients I've never seen before. Let's go inside and check it out. Go from this wall over to that wall. And that's everything. Right here is where you can get your food. Let's check it out. I'm told this is stinky tofu. No one does it more stinky than Taiwan. But does it really smell? I gotta say, not that stinky. I'm very disappointed. That's more stinky than that. Back here, they have something really amazing. This is a blood sausage cake. They look like little brownies. They have a load of different vegetables. Here, there's a huge variety of pretty standard protein. Pork, chicken, lamb, but that is boring. Instead, I'm gonna opt for something like this. A huge watery tray filled with pork blood cubes. Nice. I'm gonna try out a little bit of the stinky tofu right here. I'm told this is a rice sausage. I wanna try that out. I gotta try some of these blood brownies. Of course, we have our big blood cakes right here. I am curious to try some of this really super thick seaweed. This looks nice because it has pictures on it. Balls. They have no testicles, but this is the next best type of ball right here. Right here, I've got my grilling plate. I have some chicken gizzards, and I'm gonna pile on some of these duck intestines. Nice. Next, broth. The broth is very clearly labeled and written out here. So you just have to choose which broth you want. You can pick two. All right, folks, this is round one, and we have 2 cooking stations on either side of me. Right here is for grilling, and right here is for the hot pot. We have the duck intestine and the chicken gizzard right here. On this side, we have the very spicy broth on this side, and the very medicinal broth on this side. I'm gonna chuck all my food mostly in the spicy broth, with a little bit in the medicinal broth. I just found the catch. You only have 90 minutes for the amount of money that you pay to be here. I've already been here about 25 minutes. I have about an hour left, and I have to cook my own food. There is a amount of time where you have to wait for the food to cook or heat up. That's the issue. Another 5 minutes has passed. I have less than an hour remaining. I'm really feeling the pressure right now. I've not eaten anything. But this is looking medium duck intestines. Yes, please. I'm not gonna start with that though. From here, grab some gizzard. Give it a little bit of a hit in the sauce. A mixture of soy sauce, vinegar, scallions, and garlic. It smells fragrant. Cheers. The gizzard's so cold. Okay, you know what? It's just $7, right? I should take my time and not die. I'm gonna give the gizzard some more time. In the meantime, let's go for these duck intestines. Look at that, it's gorgeous. It's basically Italian pasta, the low carb version. Hit it with a little bit of sauce and throw it back. Cheers. Oh, that's very nice. I think those have been braised for a while. They're slit open, very well cleaned. I don't taste any detritus. And listen, people in Taiwan not only appreciate duck, but all the different duck parts. Duck tongues, or duck head, or duck feet. Any part of the duck, they're ducking eating it. I'm gonna give this gizzard a second try. Cheers. That's good. Super crunchy, almost like eating cartilage. It's very nice.
Soon, I'll be taking you to Taiwan's most expensive buffet. But first, let's check out what's inside this hot pot.
The spicy one looks amazing. Our little fish balls are floating to the top. That's probably how you know they're done. But we're gonna start with the medicinal side. Let's be honest, the taste of Chinese medicine, it's not for everybody. It's something you kind of have to grow up with. Like me as a young Taiwanese boy in Minnesota. I want to start with the stinky tofu. Now, it wasn't stinky earlier, but I'm hoping that the heat has unlocked the stinkiness. Cheers. Oh, it's unlocked. It got really smelly. Let me cut that in half. That's a lot for this boy to handle. Ooh, it smells like a homeless guy's feet. Cheers. But then when you throw it back, not so bad, especially if you drink the sauce after. Balance. The taste of the Chinese medicine, not that strong so far. Let's check out our next food. These are those blood cube brownies. A little bit of rice and a little bit of blood. Cheers. You can taste a little bit of the blood. You're mainly getting the texture from that rice inside that's now become partially soggy, but partially still a little bit bouncy. Enough with our medicinal broth. Let's go to the good stuff right here. Starting with my favorite part of the fish ball. I've acquired what looks to me to be a pepper oil or a chili oil. I'm gonna give it a little bit of a dip in that, and let's toss it back. That's good. A nice bouncy texture on those balls, and those balls are just craving to be put in some kind of a flavoring agent. The best part is that in 90 minutes, you could put 100 balls in your mouth. I mean, however many balls you can fit in your mouth in 90 minutes, that's what you're allowed to do. And they legally can't call the police. Unless you take your pants off, then they absolutely can. Moving on, we have an odd assortment of eccentric foods. Right here we have seaweed tied into a knot. Somebody graduated Boy Scouts. I love it and I hate it. It's a little bit irony. I'm getting some of the spice now from that broth. Very nice. Otherwise, that is some very thick seaweed. Right here we have our giant pork blood cake. Oh yeah. Crazy hot, but it has an amazing texture. It's very silky. It's almost like a silk tofu at this point, but with a lot more flavor and a lot more seasonings. All right, so that is the cheapest buffet you are gonna find in Taiwan. The thing is, I could continue, except for that my time is almost up, and I have another buffet that I need to go to, a buffet that costs over 10 times the price of this one. So I don't wanna consume too much stomach real estate. This place, was it awesome? Absolutely. Is this gonna be our best buffet of the day? Honestly, it's a strong contender, but we have to go to our next location to find out for sure. Let's move. We have come to our second buffet location. It is right up there. That is Taipei 101, one of the tallest buildings in Asia. It's called Taipei 101 because it's in Taipei. And guess how many floors it has? 87. No, 101. But the best part about that building is that it has the most expensive buffet that you'll find in this city. And we're headed up there now to check it out. We have come to the 86th floor. This is where the buffet is. It is called A Joy, and this place is stunning. So right now we've entered the lobby, the waiting area. There's about 200 people waiting for this place to open. It's gonna open in about 2 minutes. I got to take a look at it already. I'm telling you, this is one of the best laid out buffets I've ever seen in my life. I cannot wait to hate myself by the end of this video. So this buffet wraps around this entire floor, and there's something new at each station. The first station right here is the seafood paradise. Let's take a look and let's grab some food. Boom, bowl of shrimp. They have crab meat over here. Even more crab. They have mussels. As you move down, you start to see more sashimi, raw fish, salmon, yellowtail. This is not only seafood, but also sushi. Usually when you go to a buffet and get sushi, it looks a little beat up. This, premium. It looks so good. As we move down here, we see some nigiri. I have to grab some of these. A deep, deep red tuna right here. It turns out here they have a searing section. So on the menu, you can order A5 Wagyu, you can get snow crab, you can get different types of fish. Could I have 2 A5 Wagyu beef and 2 seared amberjack? So right here we have the amberjack and the Wagyu, and he's just taking the torch right to it. Oh, but he's not done. He's gonna hit it with a little bit of sauce. I'm kind of overwhelmed right now, guys. They have over 300 foods here on the menu for you to choose from. Let's see what's over here. Oh, here they have a hand roll. You can get a scallop with crab roe or a bluefin tuna or uni and sweet shrimp. Oh, God.
Get a uni one.
Yeah, why?
Weird.
So first he takes the seaweed, he puts in a little bit of rice, he hits that with some cucumber, hit it with a little bit of shrimp, and then the uni going on next, some sauce, wrap it up, and that is ready to go. I'm kind of filled up with my first section. Let's go eat our first course. Course 1, right here, and it looks amazing. I'm gonna start with this. Very basic, hit it with some soy sauce. Cheers. Super fresh, very delicious. This is the Wagyu. Hit it with a little bit of sauce. Smoky, beefy, fatty, amazing. Here, amberjack. Once you think of tuna and salmon, amberjack is the next fish you should move to. Here it's been beautifully seared, and on top they put some different stuff. I don't know. Hit it with a little bit of that. Smoky and stunning. I love it. Here, a hand roll. Shrimpies, uni, little slivers of cucumber, which I don't love, but I'm gonna make it work. You know why? Because the whole buffet staff is standing right there. Watching my every bite. As a wild combination of flavors. That uni is briny and very rich, super creamy. It's almost too intense to handle. And again, surprising to find something that premium at a buffet like this. We're gonna talk about the price of the buffet soon, but I gotta say, so far, it's seeming worth it. Trademark. From here, we're moving on to the next buffet station. All right, folks, so that is a sushi section where we just were, and this is the Fresh Delight section. Right here, they have a lot of small bites, which is perfect for a buffet. You don't want to come here and have 2 or 3 things. You want to come here and have 50 to 60 things, if you're me. As we move down, they have some salads, cold cuts, cheeses, and then right here, we have the leg of a pig. It's a nice looking leg. I'm telling you, if you were hitchhiking and you whipped out that leg, you'd get picked up immediately. Right here they have a type of Swiss cheese, and she's gonna make it for me now. The way it works for display purposes is they wind it into this kind of flour and then they put it on the platter. How pretty is that? As we move down, nobody goes to a buffet and wants to eat vegetables, but here they make vegetables look cool. It looks like a haunted house, but for vegetables. That being said, am I gonna try any of these vegetables? Absolutely not. We move now into the next section. This is all about the meat and the proteins. Right here they have some juicy lamb chop that just came off the grill. Right here they have grilled beef tongue with salt and scallions.
This is A5 Noodles Street.
How do I get that?
Okay, we can serve it from here.
I just take it now?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it just came right off the grill. This is amazing. As we continue down the meat section, we find even more. Right here, they have grilled eel skewers. And then right here, I've never seen this at a buffet. Grilled sweet fish. I think I'm gonna have to come back for that one. So this is what you have to be careful for. When you come here, look where there's nothing, because there should be something there. Here it says grilled king crab clusters. So we're gonna wait for that, and that will complete our meat plate. Where do I begin? How about with the tongue of a beef? Ooh, my tongue is about to taste this tongue, and it's gonna be a good moment. Juicy, warm, almost melting in my mouth. I love it. Speaking of melting, right here, they have some Wagyu that they just took off the grill. Super rich, super delicious. Let's talk about the price. For a buffet at this value, I would expect to spend $140, $150, but for lunch, it costs only $101. That's insane to me. Of course, it's not a price where you're gonna be coming here every day, but that is definitely accessible for people who wanna save up for special occasions. So tell me what you think. $101 here in Taipei 101. Is that worth it for you? I will let you know what I think at the end of the video. The answer is yes. Next, we're moving on to eel. It's just like melting in my mouth. It's so soft. There's like a thick teriyaki glaze on top, and it has a little bit of fishiness in a good way. Next, cheese flour from Switzerland. Switzerland is fantastic for bread, cheese, meat. That's it. I went there. Cheers. That method of preparing the cheese has made it almost fluffy. That's wild. From here, we're moving on to our king crab. That is a gigantic chunk of meat right there. This is like the sea bum of crab thighs. All right, let's break this open. It's still warm. Oh my God. Guys, have you ever seen anything like that? Cheers. Oh my God. Wow. It's so big, plump, beautiful, and juicy. Juicy. So here's the thing, if I was not making a video here, all I would be doing is eating that right there. Now, we have a lot more foods to see and a lot more sections to take a look at. Let's keep moving. All right, folks, it's round 3, and I want to show you a meat I've never seen before. At first, I thought it was beef. It is not. This is grilled chicken neck side. What? Leave it to folks in Taiwan to find a brand new thing to do with chicken. So yes, I will absolutely be getting that for my 3rd course. So now we're leaving the grilled meat section and heading to the fried section. This is all about different fried stuff. Right there, those are fried small sweet fish. I've never seen something like that at a buffet. I gotta try it. Behind me, they have a teppanyaki station where they cook up seafood on a flat top right in front of you. Right here, a load of abalone being cooked up. The abalone looks amazing. So right now he's taking the abalone, giving it a little bit of a cut and transferring it to the station right here. Ooh, right here he has a handful of fat scallops that have been freshly seared. Right here he's got a plate. It's a plate with a little bit of sauce. I got my freshly seared scallops right here. Seared abalone that we just saw being made. Look at this guy, smart. I think this guy used to work at Applebee's like me. Good order. Boom, round 3 right here. And this is a wild assortment of foods. First, let's talk about the abalone. Here they've paired it with a little bit of a liver sauce. Cheers. You need a second? You're good? It's so delicious. What I love about abalone is just the density of the meat. It's so meaty and it has a delicious seafood taste along with that liver sauce. I'm gonna work my way up to these gorgeous giant scallops, but first, how about the side of a chicken neck? What I can appreciate in Taiwan is that they use every part of the chicken, even the cock's comb on the rooster, they eat that. Everything, including the side neck. Cheers. It tastes a little bit like the thigh, but you can tell it's not from the thigh, but it's a delicious flavor. They put some sweet glaze on there. I love it. Then we have this, a sweet fish. The only question left with this sweet fish is ass first or head first? Ass first. Wife says ass first. Cheers. Oh, that's really good. It's crunchy. It tastes very oily. I'm gonna hit it with a little bit of soy sauce. Very nice. This is the new fish sticks. Finally, a seafood that I think everybody adores. Right here, a giant seared scallop. Underneath, they have a thick, creamy sauce. Cheers. Bro. This is the most decadent, luxurious meal I've had in a while. I feel like once I leave this place and go back to my normal diet, I'm gonna become extremely depressed. 90% of the happiness in my life comes from food. The other 10% comes from alcohol. That said, I've got a lot more buffet to show you. Let's keep moving. We moved past the meat section and now this whole line right here is full of Taiwanese, Chinese, Cantonese, food from all those regions. First of all, they have this right here. It's a dish called Buddha Jumps Over the Wall. This is a dish that contains a lot of unique ingredients, including abalone and shark fin. This is a very iconic dish in many parts of Asia. I'm gonna try it out. Right down here, we have a big, beautiful, golden, crispy duck. And then right here, they have a plate full of that delicious, succulent breast meat. So I'm gonna grab some of the super fresh duck. As we move down, there's more duck action here. Here you can order a roasted duck wrap. So right here, there's a pancake made from rice flour and green onion. Then he puts on a sweet sauce. He takes some of the duck, he places that on top. He hits it with a little bit of cucumber and then some green onion and some lettuce. Roll it up, and that is how you make a duck roll. I'm told they have a second duck dish that I must try. It's a duck skin nigiri. So it all starts with the rice. They have the duck skin, and then they take their rice. It looks a little bit different than a typical sushi rice. And then, oh, this is gonna be great. He takes the torch and he makes that skin extra crispy. Wow. There's one more station I wanna show you. Here, they have a lot of different steam baskets. Oh, here we have a fish maw stewed chicken soup. And right here, they have steamed egg. Also cool, but I'm not getting it. And then finally, right here, a variety of dim sum and xiaolongbao. Oh, look at that. It's so pretty. These are the famous soup dumplings of Taiwan. So I've got my dumplings, I've got my duck. Let's go back to the table and try it out. All right, folks, it's our 4th and final course, and I feel like I may have gone too far. First of all, the duck plate. This is something I've never seen before. A duck skin nigiri. Let's give it a shot. Wow, it's crispy duck skin on top of sticky rice. And by the way, the sticky rice has been coated in a duck fat. I'm not gonna say ducking amazing, but it's very good. Oh, and then right here, the same breast that I have on my plate in this little Taiwanese tortilla. It's so good. I taste the green onion, I taste that sweet sauce, and I taste that juicy duck breast. Even they put some cucumber in there, I don't really taste it. From here, I'm gonna switch this with this. This is the xiaolongbao. Now, I'm told to eat this properly. I need to use the chopsticks, remove the soup dumpling, put it into this soy sauce ginger mixture, put it back on the spoon, and put that into my face. It's savory, it's got meat inside, quite literally bursting with flavor. Here, for balance, they also have a black one. It's yin and yang. An explosion of aromatic truffle flavor. Absolutely incredible. That said, we have one dish remaining, and that is Buddha jumped over the wall. So I'm gonna break the top off of this thing. Wow, this is already a meal right here. First of all, we have the lid. The puff pastry that was on top is very tasty. Inside the bowl, we've got mushrooms, cabbage, vegetables, ooh, and abalone. And supposedly, in here somewhere is a shark fin. Where is the shark fin? I had a quick PR meeting with the staff here. Now, usually in this dish, traditionally, there is shark fin. I'm told now that there's not shark fin. I'm going for the abalone. Cheers. A heartwarming, savory stock, and it's really just an experience because it may or may not have a shark fin inside, but somehow the mystery makes it even better. So this is course number 4, but next I want to show you their massive dessert section. So after a big meal full of meat and after getting gout twice in a row, it's time for some dessert. First of all, ice cream right here, 14 different flavors. Then we got a little bit of juice. It's not the same type of juice that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson takes. Get it? But still good. Right here, fruit. Yeah, fruit is dessert in Asia. Here they have an assortment of delectable chocolates and desserts and cake. They have flan, a little bit of everything. Finally, we are in Taipei 101 after all, so they have a dessert that looks just like this building. Look at that, a mini Taipei 101. That is 101 floors of pure flavor. Cheers. Crispy. And look, the inside is full of little offices and half-eaten people.
After going all in on 2 completely different buffets, I must say the expensive one stole my heart. I think it may just be the best buffet in the world. But you'll have to try it for yourself to find out here in Taiwan, the land of noodles, the land of night markets, the land of seafood, and overall culinary excellence. That's it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.